technologies. That's why we needed new technological universities. 10 best universities with highly standards. 60% of their studies is in training in their factories, in their specialties, in order not to have a difference between what they study and what they work. 10 technological universities adopting the developed graduated student and high school students, and our goal is to reach 27 universities in order to have a technological university in each governorate with the specialties of the workforce needs. Our industries need very understanding graduates and they need people who have awareness and education to enhance it and upgrade it, adding other technologies as textile, train technology, and other fields that graduates are ready to work in it with the whole world awaiting for them. Our concern in investing in our new capital it does not stop here. We have global and international universities. We're keen on having branches in Egypt, especially in the new administrative capital. We have today our first batch graduated, and also private universities with more than 25 universities. Future starts now, and if you have willingness, is the same letters as management, so science is the same letters as work. Work is all what I have. Work is all what I require from all of you. By work, we people and nations, Mr. Minister Ahmed Ashur, the workforce has an infrastructure, and then the greatest challenges is working in universities by changing the top, what is called top universities, and applying the directive of President Sisi's. How were you able to achieve integration? Allow me to use PowerPoint while showcasing. President Sisi, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say that Story Nation and Building Egyptian Human Being, the video we saw now is explaining a great brief what is happening in higher education system during the last period, and how we are moving from into a new era in education with an excellent graduate able to meet the needs of Egyptian and foreigner international workforce with faculties, not with traditional top faculties. The top faculties is to be able to fulfill the needs of the state with your capabilities and be able to work international workforce and national workforce. The slide I'm starting with is a brief to some of the accomplishments of higher education system in a nation dream. And the right side, you can find the number of universities we had in 2014. There was 50 universities distributed on 7 regions, 27 governments, 23 private sectors, and the other are governors, and several universities. If we compared to 2023 with the amount of achievements, not just the number, President Sisi and ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about new paths in education, geographical areas that did not exist before, which is inability system. We're talking about 96 university. And even since the beginning of higher education in Egypt up to 2014, we had 50 universities. We're talking about the same amount was doubled during the last period to reach roughly 100 universities. We have new paths. What we have here is only the amounts. Even geographically, we reached to Sinai, regional, southern of Western, Upper Egypt, So the education system started to spread across Egypt, and this is the availability we want to all Egyptians in a human being system building. We had 118 program in 392 university faculty, and we have 23 universities, 123 faculties, several universities, 8 faculties. We have had great difference, President Sisi, in 2023. We have in 2023, not with numbers, but with new paths in higher education and the system to ensure that the graduate will find a job right away after graduation according to local international standards. Even the paths of the international universities, we're talking about 30 private, for several universities, 12 civil universities are coming from, deviated from governmental universities, and this is a new system supporting higher education system. 10 technological universities. This is a new path to link between technology and industry and higher education, and this is a new path we had in this system. The foreigner university branches. This is an image to governmental existing governmental universities. Started with the Alexandria, Ain Shams, Cairo universities, private universities. Four several universities, which is the first generation of them. Masr Technological University, International Civil University, Alamain International Alamain University, and Galala King Salman University. And then we have the civil university derived from governmental university, which is 12 university right now, working last year, today, and this year completing the successful of civil university system other than technological universities path, and the students joining to them. We had a vision in technological university. We have a turnover of the students, and we need them in all governors. We have a vision that every governorate will have a technological university according to the amount of people applying. We have 7 branches in civil society and several universities in new administrative capital, and models of these foreign universities other than branches. We had agreements with the biggest university, Alamain and New Mansoura and Galala universities are international programs applied in all civil and private universities, reiterating the partnership with excellent international universities delivered to our students here. And this was yesterday. We had a delegation of 10 English universities, plus 5 companies had signed protocols to new branches as well. So what I'm telling you is dealing with excellent universities across the world. Now we are ensuring an excellent standard and system for our students. Why we are doing this, or what is it based upon? So the vision of 2014, when we started, we talked about 23 vision and future vision. We are always looking for future. Now we have the population pyramid and the educational layer. The population 2014 was 90 million population. We the amount of students in education was 2,300,000 people. Now we're talking about 106 million in the layer from 18 to 22 segment. We have 9 million youth. The applications are about 37 or 40. We have 3,300,000 100,000 students. So what is our planning? And the built universities are with what vision? When the number of population will reach 124 million people, the students in this segment will be 111 students, and we are looking for, with our new capital, administrative capital, to have 43% of applications. So that's why we are aiming at more students applying. We have here the population segment, and they need the higher education needs distributed across Egypt. We're talking about 7 regions: Cairo, Alexandria, Suez Canal, southern, middle, and west, upper Egypt. So the future number of the already registered in university, and every region, the number of every region and the needs of universities. Now we have the future and the current situation, the future vision in nation story. This is the basis we are working on, that we are aspiring for all regions and in the future system to, for example, if you have Cairo region and Delta region, there's the 2 biggest regions that need help in universities and different specialties. With the density of the population, we have a promising role in order to absorb and build universities. That what happened in New Mansoura city, for example. We started to meet the needs of Delta in a new city. And also this is important in building communities. So the universities that are built and programs that are established, how can we link them with future state future plans, with the 2030 vision? So we have here a study for all economic activities in the state until 2030 vision in agriculture, industry, urbanization, logistics, roads, and we added universities on them, and universities currently and in the future. So it's a roadmap, so it's a plan to have economic activities and the work people we need in the future with needed academic programs. So that means that the academic program in university is based on the needs of every region, and how the graduate can serve the region and the area they have the university in. So we're talking about a coalition in every region, governmental, civil, private, technological, and institutions, to work together in one system in every region, and have future projects and graduates that are able to integrate with the needs of state in the developmental period. So how can, within this educational system, to ensure that we teach students skills according to the needs we need? We're talking about skills, earned skills, or even upgrade or upskilling. So we're talking about how can we gain the trust, how to can teach our students the skills to be able to face the challenges of jobs in the future. So the universities we have today, its programs depend on data analysis. So we needed to know the type of programs in order to teach it to students. The world now is talking about programs in humanitarian, technological, and natural studies. I will give you examples, because many people are asking what is the data programs. The most famous university talking about programs compounding between literature, engineering, medicine. We're talking about science and dental, engineering and literature, science, commerce, trade, and technology. So it's not only theoretical or practical programs. So how can we have these programs and pave the way to our students and teaching them skills to work in future jobs. So the matter as well, or the needs, the regional needs as well, there are approaches for excellence globally, and also programs to upskill the regional resources. So this is how our universities feed the different programs. So in order to do that, we have to prepare a board of teachers, professionals able to develop the system. So that's why we started by different training courses in order to know how to design the new programs that combine theoretical, practical fields. So we started to give training courses by the assistance of the biggest global universities in order to enable a board of professionals able to deliver this to students. Not only this, but we had a data network among all the board of professionals to anchor the idea of different specialists. So it's normal to have data program, but how can it would be crossing program to be complementary with industry, agriculture. So we had interaction and integration with all specialties by what we call transdisciplinary in data science. So it's all new programs, and electronic tests and IT, higher education and scientific research had a leap in the last since 2014 until now in information technology and communication. All the electronic tests, we have completed the first phase, and we are about to finish the second phase. We can see the amount of devices we have, the amount of testing, the questions, the number of beneficiary students. It's a great accomplishment we had in IT and smart technological universities that shows to you the amount of the existence in IT system in our universities. According to all of this, so we had a portfolio, or what we call the educational program contains certain things in order to gain the trust of students. The blue one is the academical program, and we have entrepreneurship, innovation, business path, which is hub employing centers. We had in our universities innovative academic sector and employing field which teaches students skills and soft skills. So the junior had a skillful path along with the academic certificate that to fulfill the needs of our workforce. So we had students that can join us in workforce, and we had they gain at the end certificates from the authorities. They have a training at an academic certificate. So they have two parallel paths during the educational process. We have in front of us here actually what we are doing by an initiative called Be Ready, in order to prepare students to work, train while receiving education along with the needs, aligned with the workforce needs. And this is the last hub we had in this event, workforce event. We had more than 8,000 students Other than the electronic portal, we had that links between university and students and companies and services available. So the cadres we prepare, it's not about upskilling or skilling only in soft skills or scientific and academic professional fields, but also sport, cultural innovation. And this is actually activities in front of us show us that human being building is by our universities. So in front of us, you can see the events several events in supporting innovation and entrepreneurship. We can say the program now has the academic curriculum, training for future jobs, and then innovation and creativity. And we have different examples for this. And competitions we set up for students through funds of sponsoring and supporting innovatives. We had students gaining international prizes, even manufacturing electric cars. Some universities started to involve in this system. We are doing now in every region a center for innovation and scientific technology. Allow me, Mr. President, this framework to launch an initiative. This initiative, this is a first of its kind in higher education to link innovation and creativity by exploring and discovering these students. And there is a video that we will briefly show to encourage all our students to initiate their creativity and link it to industry. So this is with the cooperation with us. We are Gen Z. Z generation after 2000. You can see us and we see people and we see it, see the word like this and we see it in different words. This is your jokes and this is ours. This is your work and this is our work. Friends like that and for us like that. The party was like that and it's still the same. So you are right, but we are not wrong. And now it's our role, it's our turn to show you our ideas, how can it lead us. Gen Z is the largest program of university entrepreneurship and innovation with the 50 billion sponsorship. You can apply now through next website. From 22 September and the 1st of October, by seeing all the details and conditions, please visit this website. Gen Z at University Challenge. Dr. Ayman, maybe the initiative of supporting innovation. This is one of the important sides we have to develop universities. As President Sisi reiterates, we don't have but idea now, so we have to support innovation and entrepreneurship. Thank you, Doctor. Give me a chance, Dr. Ayman, please have a seat. It concerned me while we're talking about the great development that would happen in the 8 years past since 2014, to see the amount of investment as state, as government or private sector, or even the international private universities, the cost of it. I'd like to talk to, when I mean to state the number, because when the shed light of the challenges we face here during this period, we were facing terrorism, extremism, and a very difficult process to fulfill stability. And however, while we're doing this, while we are facing this to fulfill stability and maintaining Egyptian state, the share of education and not the share of education or the different field sectors of Egypt in development and investment expenditures. In order to reach this number, we were talking about, I doubled the number as a state, whether as a state or as a private sector. At the end, we are one thing. So it was very important to tell people while doing this, while announcing that the amount of cost was spent during the past 8 years in building infrastructure, education infrastructure, how much it costed us. And in 2032, how much do you need on ground? I know that you are coordinating this with the government. I know that there is a plan, but also we are talking and announcing to people. And we upgraded ourselves that public opinion with us are aware, attention, or draw their attention to what we are doing, and we are not working in separation in order for them to realize the amount of effort and the cost in education. But there is another education we'll talk about later on in other sectors. So it's very important for people to know that although despite all the challenges we faced in this period, and many people thought, and I said that before a lot, that maybe we can say that we could have said that to end this crisis we have an overpass that fulfill real stability, security, and then start a comprehensive developmental plan in all targeted sectors. And this was a path, and it was not have been and no one can and no one can even had criticize it, but it would have wasted our time, a great time in which we could build different sectors to be able to move on to future. When I asked this question, the reason for this, and I know that the number you have the number, and it was with the government, but what I meant here in front of Egyptians, we have the right to, it's our duty to have a real partnership between us and the citizen by showing different facts, because they are our partners, and to know what is happening and how it can be done and the cost of everything. So this is a point. This is something I wanted to point out. What do you want? Need? There are slides, if you allow me. One slide, I can show it to you. And yes, go ahead, please. This is important. So if you allow me, Mr. President, yes, go ahead. The slide of the coast. We have a slide. It was very important to be presented, but because of the time, we didn't. Here, sir, after the video, we will about to present the cost. We have about $180 billion was spent on higher education during the last period, distributed how? We have civil universities, governmental universities. Governmental universities have $50 billion spent in 766 projects. That doesn't mean only that we have building new or technological or civil universities, but we are concerned in upgrading governmental educational system. We have $4.4 billion on technological universities and $233 billion in institutions. University hospitals have $104 billion. Technological infrastructures that we witnessed its achievements. We're talking about $7 billion. It's not only in Egypt. We have regional projects for living abroad. So we're talking about $500 billion to support researchers inside and outside Egypt. So the total is $180 billion. So I would like to tell you all, we are talking about $180 billion for building. But this is not including the cost of operating we're talking about, whether we pay as a state or a private sector deal with the idea, with it in the idea of education. Why I'm saying this? Because in 2032, as we agreed, Dr. Mustafa will achieve this number, and we may have greater ambition to deal with, but I'd like to point out something here, very important here. These numbers, the amount of, the value of pounds was very different. We're talking about 2014, 2015 until 16. The value, the pounds value was $8 or $9, and after that was 16. So now can you imagine that we take the decision in building this amount right now? How much would it cost? Is it would be 170, 180, or 200, or 250, or 300 billion dollars? So I lost the chance of having the capability of building an appropriate educational system. I will stop here. You said that we want to have established 17 technological universities. I don't know what you considered, but I think we need $500 billion. What do you think, doctor? So the cost of 600 billion pounds, but let's say 500 million. So by Tahya Masri Fund, I'm able to build the 17 universal technological university by the half of the cost, and the government will pay the half of the cost. Do you agree, doctor? And the second point, you said there is a beautiful initiative for innovatives and creative. So we can contribute by Tahya Masri Fund. We will contribute by 50 million. So it will be 100 million that way. So thank you so much, Mr. President. You always support smart people and education. So we cannot speak about university, higher education, and not to talk about the primary education, because it exists in every home. And we're talking about 100 million teachers and 25 million students. So in order to know what happened in 9 years, let's see the upcoming video. Long live Egypt, long live Egypt. The basic educational system is one of the cornerstones, because it teaches young people in ethics, academics, and everything that enable them to complete the path of the state. One of the biggest challenges since 2014 is developing the educational system and facing related challenges during very long years in which this system has great intensity of students and upgrading the services provided to students and more. So the developmental started gradually, appropriate to existed challenges, started with developing the approach, the curriculum from kindergarten until grade 6 and preparatory phase, with 49 curricula, and we had the system of testing became electronically. Also, we supported middle school for middle income families, and Nile, and also with different types of schools. And also we developed infrastructure for educational systems since 2014 and up till 2023, as we implemented 7,087 projects with with the 12,077 class, and implement expanded 3,036 project and have about 2,000 and something school, and we implemented about 420 class in northern Sinai governor on the technological, on the vocational system. The students level number increased and the number of schools increased in 2024. And instead of 1,687 in 2014, the number were doubled, and we also had a separated institutions to upgrade the provided educational level and approving the vocational students with 80% fulfilled until this year. And the board of professionals were trained a lot, and we expanded the partnerships with the businessmen and international cooperators. We trained about 1,939 professional teachers, which we expanded. The talented center were established in 165 center, and disabled special needs centers were expanded in numbers, and also nutrition and building healthy children. We expanded in supporting school nutritionally, and we upgraded technological infrastructure by smart TV and highly speed networks and computer labs and tablets, 3,004,000, and we expanded the cooperation with international institutes and the participation in international competitions to have the students more than 15 international prizes, and literacy was fulfilled by teaching 5.3 billion students was illiterate. So the great challenge we have here in human being building is upon primary education and forming their awareness. Dr. Higazi, according to numbers and figures, the biggest challenge you have in education ministry, the basic education, is the intensity of population. We're talking about 700,000 students increasing. 750,000 students increase in schools. If there is upgrading, changing curricula, how can you deal with these challenges in order not to reflect negatively on the quality of education? Thank you so much. President Sisi, thank you for being here with you. So I will take your word that reforming education is not easy or simple. These challenges are strong and great, and you are asking all the citizens to sacrifice and exert effort. So, and I'm talking about reform, not developing, because the circumstances were very difficult. Schools building are not providing services, old in architecture, rigid curricula. So all the words in fifth and fourth revolution, industrial and technological revolution, there are some jobs will be no more, and there will be other jobs. So it's not about only about indoctrinating children, but we need them to have the ability to creative and create and innovate. So we don't have any other reform program, but the one that you launched to work in a comprehensive system, because we can't develop a side and leave another. So one of the things we had is the philosophy of reform, comprehensive reform to all the system elements, from curricula meet the needs of modern era and outcomes of education, and have schools and buildings and teachers are able to provide, because the role of the teacher has changed, and also in technological and transformation. And however, although despite all the circumstances in 2014 to 2023, we now the expenditures exceeded 1 trillion pound that was spent on education. It overpassed to 80 to 118 billion pounds. This means a 46% increase on the budget, and this reflects the state's state. I'd like to tell you that this fiscal year budget is $160 billion. This is an index that Egypt is concerned with education. I'd like to intervene, Doctor. I'd like to say that maybe the figures that the Minister of Education is saying, showing spend and developing as well in expanding. So because maybe we are dealing with transparency as the cost of the amount of cost. Does it parallel, or is it sufficient to the number of students? So but why we're saying this, and we are all responsible. It's not me only responsible, or the head government head, or the Minister of Education. But even the doubling of this number won't be enough, because when you said at the beginning, when you asked Dr. Ahmed, you are saying that the challenge you have is increased population. It's about 750,000 students joining schools, joining education. So is the state able to face this challenge? So we have to tell you, and to hear us very clearly. Today is not, the idea is not establishing a class or a school, but also can we operate appropriately with an good educational outcome to our students in this important phase. Maybe in a university, as Dr. Ayman said, and it was reassuring, but he had a great, stepped a lot, but now we are building and forming personality since a young age to have successful and supporting personalities. So I'd like to tell you that we don't want to say positive things only, or encouraging things only. We need to state the problem or the issue, and I'm speaking honestly. I'm saying, and we would like to say that the amount of growth, population growth, we have a challenge. This word may be not comfortable. We are not able to face and to increase by this number, not only in the education sector, but in health, employing. Maybe you can say that we graduated from university with no job to find, and we found the job that is available, but we are not ready to, as Dr. Ayman said, that we are not able to provide education that meets the need of workforce. So I'd like to tell you please tell me the number, the figure that is needed for education according to the number of students. So why are you saying this to people? Is it our state or my state? It's our state. So yes, it's our state, so we have to know. You citizens, you have to know our story, because what I'm saying has an impact at the end on our society, in our community. And the progress of our state, the number we're talking about, the number and the sector, the health sector, education sector will not be able to meet this growth. So we don't want, when you say this, we don't want people to feel unsatisfied, as Dr. Mustafa said. So maybe you can say that we increased the number to 200 billion pounds. So the 25,000 they need not less than 1 trillion pounds. This is true. So how are we now spending this? So are we able to meet the number of schools now? So the basic or primary education is very important. No, it's not only very important, it's the real basis that future Egypt will spark and will start long run. So that's why when you said 160, you said 160. No, it's not. It won't be good. It won't be enough. I know, but I'm talking about your upcoming budget. You put this number. This is honestly not enough. And what do you think, doctor? So what can we do? We need ideas, yes, and increase the number. And we will increase the number, Dr. Mustafa. And of course the initiatives. Yes, go ahead. Thank you, Mr. President. I was just telling you an increase 750,000. This is an increase of the normal rate, which is 2.5 million, plus 750,000, and which makes 20,000 class and 20,000 teachers as well. So in a great cluster, we have a curricula, vocational education, because it's one of the most important factors as it impacts the economy. How did we expand the system development? In 2014, that was the school. It was not attractive at all, and it has not the spaces we want for our kids. During this time, so we changed the form of the schools, and this is, you have to witness. You will find that the schools in Haya Karima school, recent life schools, had spaces, technological infrastructure. Yes, the number is not complete. You need more. We need more. Yes, we do, and this is inevitable. But this is an achievement as well during this time. The number of classes is 52,000 class, and from 14 to 23 we established 140,000 class with a cost of 140 billion pounds. We have highly speeded internet with fiber cables, especially secondary schools. We have 242 developed labs. We have labs, but we have also smart TVs. And by the way, Mr. President, that enabled us in COVID to continue to pursue our education. And Egypt is one of the fewest continued education during COVID because of technological infrastructure. Expanding excellent schools, there is a desire from people. They want their children to better learn. We have a school, excellent scientific excellent schools and math as well. You visited Minya and you witnessed the students, and they were gaining prizes across the world. The student cost about 60,000 pounds in a year. In our strategic plan, we have 18 governorates, 21,000 schools. We need a STEM school in every governorate, and we expand it. What we do this year, what established is the intelligent STEM school with the secondary. So those who gained scientific and mathematics prizes, we had established a school called Intelligent Schools with competition to international and global universities with excellent universities, and have a group of grants, and we'll start this today. It's the later of the late, as they say. Professional official schools, many want to enroll their kids in international schools. We had the SBIS, and it's handy, affordable, and it has great applications, a number of applications. One of this type of the system that focuses on building personality building, which is called Tokasto, and that's what we need, which is Japanese students. And we have private schools, and we have also schools, governmental schools, and we will join a complementary schools that has language schools, and they are smart, EILS, and we can call it schools of semi-international schools. They are national and have language according to international standards, and hopefully we'll have this model that started this year, hopefully. The curricula is a great or a big story, President. So our curricula cannot be reformed, but we had to have a root change, because all the old curricula was built on indoctrination. So we had a new group of curricula based on international and Egyptian experience, built on interaction and building personalities, character building, and we had also multidisciplinary books. So we had, these are the subjects. We have 49 curricula were developed and were work and are in place. And it was until grade 6 and even preparatory phase, and we completed preparatory phase until this year from general framework, and qualified different documents, and we will start having auctions on the on developing the curricula. So if we moved on by this pace, we will reach the secondary phase by very late, so we need to accelerate. I assigned my team to study the secondary and the mechanisms of admission to universities. They have a great problem in this field. So we have 3 recommendations as an outcome. The models of educational globally is accelerating phase, accelerating education. It means that some students can finish schooling in 1 or 2 years. We don't have to force them to have 2 or 1 specific years. So it's even available in international universities we have is the freedom and the several attempts. We cannot judge students from one attempt, which makes the oppression in high school. Thirdly is the freedom of choice. They have to have paths to choose from, and this is an outcome of studies by exam and national center, and we need the mechanism of admission to university with the high partnership of the higher education president. Is there a national conference to solve this problem with all experiences across the world to know what is happening in this regard? I wish to sponsor this conference. Okay, I'm always with you in every initiative and every solution that you present to make us successful. I'd like to remind you, in order not to forget, that while you are working, please pay attention to the culture of learning in Egypt. As citizens, how they treat or deal with education, and how they are willing to accept changes. So we said this before, and we witnessed that. So we were afraid of the change will be at their children's cost, and this is something we respect and we understand, because it's naturally we have children in our school. So I'm not reassured that this new method will harm our kids in this experiment. So I think we always need in every step a societal dialogue. Let's talk together and let's be ready. Not just to go back and forth, but also to have a chance to reassure you with a transitional alternative. In order to have this, it means that we have this phase. I'm afraid with you. So a transitional phase will be done until it is anchored in our system. To treat any side effects of the idea. So the project or the conference I'd like to do, I'm with you and I will attend it, but I'd like you to tell me if the schools that has the idea as language, semi-international, tell me or help me. Or help me to understand. I think Dr. Mustafa will be very upset. Tell me that we can 100 schools, it's 20 schools. We have a plan to expand it. Yes, go ahead. This is our future vision to reach 200 IBS school in the upcoming 5-year plan. I don't have a time for the upcoming 5-year plan. Tell me today the school is 20 school or more, 20 class or more. There are some, it's 30 to 40 class, so it's a chance. It's an opportunity then, doctor. Yes, it is. Okay, by the way, I always say this. When you presented this and a private sector presented their idea as well, I told them that when I allocate a land and build a school, so as a government, let's do this, establish the schools with the partnership of private sector, and they can manage it under our supervision of the idea we need. Anyways, I don't know how much the school is cost. This class has 800,000 pounds. You can say 500 or 600, 100,000? No. So anyways, you're talking about 3,000 costs. So you're talking about 15 billion. So what do you think, Dr. Mustafa? No, I want order. So education has to be based on understanding. Yes. No, without saying yes, I know. Do you suspect it? Of course not. You, no encouragement. I wish. Okay, we can say that hopefully, if the lands, if we do have the lands and ready, and you chose according to geographical and population distribution that is put into consideration, we will start 100 school. We are in October, so hopefully we will be able within a year will start to operate, we will start building the 100 school. Thank you, Mr. President. Okay. In order not to press Dr. Mustafa more, we will put a considerable effort through Tahya Masr or a Long Live Egypt fund to finance part of the number of schools, as I understand, is some of them with IBS, so see what you want. But we're talking about 3,000 classes with your ordinary program that you're working with. Yes, go ahead. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. The vocational curricula is one of the most important. It was very poor. We had a very poor system, and the poor student was able to join this. But we are talking about now we are able to work on professional, one of the digital platforms and knowledge bank. Thank God we had educational platforms and channels that include all digital educational classes, and we have programs testing. But I'd like to stop here for 1 second, Mr. President. Students are complaining about leaving their schools and buying external books, although we are responsible for this. So our center, we started to establish books, educational books in details with trainings for the students to train and have the test and report for their performance in order to dispense our students from having other external resources. As we have a question bank in secondary, we had a question bank from 4th grade until 3rd high school, but it's ever open. It's an assessment for better education. But I'm just unprepared. Of course, I'm preparing a cadre to do this in order for students to have their report of assessment. This is one of the things that we are starting this year. The email, more than 16 million. Every student has a 16 million has an email. I can send you, or if it's through the tablet. So it's one of the important things helped us to complete the year during COVID, and digital transformation in books. The books has to be, the amount of it has to be minimal or lighter in order to put links. And the students can complete their classes or the lessons by clicking on the links. This is one of the things we accomplished. Developing evaluating system started with the question banks and the rank of testing. This is very important. When I withdraw the exams, high school exams, and it's something very, very worrying for me. So now we have reassured or secured resources. We can withdraw exams from it in first and second high school years. They were tested electronically, and we corrected electronic MCQ tests for final high school year. One of the for senior high school years, one of the most important thing they experienced through through tablets. They, the teachers were correcting papers without knowing at all whose paper is this. Also, we have a competition called Braille's. We lead in 140 point in comprehension for 4th grade, and it's international competitions that benefits us in a global ranking. And we will have Giza competition. It's more tricycler, and we have national test as well for 4th grade, and the outcome will be very soon, and the result will be very soon in this framework. So the evaluation system is one of the things that we dispensed a human being from it as well. So as we have grievances as well, it was a great challenge. Now it's electronically, and the correction is electronically as well. And now we are working deeply on the rest of the years. And also we have scientific research done by students on the national challenges done by faced in this country. And also we have the 4th evaluation test corrected by the National Exam Center. Activities is one of the things that, like, if you'd like to develop attraction for schools and to sponsor talented, we have to have activities, and we actually have with the sport and cultural day every year with the partnership of youth and sport ministries, and our students participate in such competitions and as well, and this is one of the important things. Excuse me. The Reading National Project, one of the project students enrolled and had gained global prizes. We have a student called Yasmin in Monofia Governorate. They made us proud in international celebrations. The teacher is the one who is delivering this. Maybe the curricula is perfect, but he's not delivering this well. So that's why I have to thank you in this regard. We have 150,000 teacher for 5 years, 30,000 every year. So the most important, we have a mechanism to choose the teachers. I will choose 30,000 of the most efficient and professional, and because they will be the guide, and we have to have open-minded in this regard because they are delivering the information. That's why we're testing automated tests with no human being interfering, and they overpassed after they were trained by the ministries, and there was an authority were evaluating their passing, and this is a very important achievement which is a mechanism to choose teachers. We had something before in 2015 with the competition. After a year, they asked reducing the poll, but this competition across every governorate depending on their needs. The 1,000 school manager initiative. So we need to have a great open-minded manager able to encourage people, knows their strategy, and they had grant for 6 months in the military academy and higher education ministry of Halwan. They will have a leadership training, and this will be a turning point in our field. And the previous trainings were great, but we trained about 1,193,000 100,000 million teacher. So this will bridge the gap or cause the deficit? No, it won't. We started with a share. We pumped 140 million with the ministry budget, and the increased population is 750,000 students will be added, but this is things that we do to upgrade the quality of education. All of this affected new curricula from scratch, not just developed or reformed systems with systems that makes it in U.S. news to reach from 42 in 2022 to 37, and with the knowledge international knowledge index became 78. Vocational learning or education will make economy. So the image we had, this poor student goes joins vocational training because of the according to or based on the efforts we had as initiative start or if the students are applying with a number of even high school. They don't go to public or high school, they go to vocational education because they are reserved to have working before graduating and has a chance to join technological universities if they would like to continue their education. That's why we have a different image now. So the numbers started to increase in the schools in vocational and the numbers in vocational schools started to increase as well. Developing schools with applied technology according to national projects, as we have programming school and jewelry and golden jewelry school and nuclear energy school. These are types that are required. We have states need technicians to work with these countries, and we are teaching them language to be able to deal with these countries. Of course, there is no doubt to participate that we needed to participate with the private sector because it's an integration is very important. These are the companies that worked with us in this regard. They have a great importance. They make the qualified leap. The problem is that we don't know how to train them, but here we are putting them in natural or normal situations. That's why our partners in private sector, we greet you completely. Also vocational training was 113. We went to 180. The ongoing continue training we have in 98. We also have the knowledge international knowledge index. We we progressed as well in the number. Finally, Mr. President, is literacy and elderly learning. We deleted the literacy of 25 million, but it's not about alphabetical literacy. That's why we have resources of literacy. That's why UNESCO wants to hold a great conference for raising awareness and enabling the illiterate is not just deletion of making them read and write. So UNESCO is welcome to do this in this regard, to have a new concept. It's not alphabetical illiteracy, but it's also enabling and raising awareness. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Dr. Rida Hijazi, Minister of Education. Excuse me, I'd like to stop here. As Doctor said, we're talking about choosing teachers and preparing them to have to make a mission. It's a very important, it's a very sensitive mission in building Egyptian human being. And I will stop on what you said previously. You said that when a state announces the admission of teachers in primary education, they were applying for a ministry on their website. And after that, we learned, we knew complaints that it was unfair. This is one thing. Number two, the standards of or the criteria of choosing was very general. So what Dr. Rida said is that we have programs for evaluation, testing, where elements, the criteria is based on for people applying, for teachers applying. So that's why we had a great chance to provide an opportunity for all, and the equity is fulfilled in evaluating and testing. And then you talk about 1,000 teacher or school manager. I'll stop here because of last period we had a discussion, talked about why do you send some people to military academy, and I will tell you very honestly or frankly, you're talking about you're saying that there is a great development in our community. A part of it is negative. So now the teacher we want in the school there has which skills, which loyalty. I don't suspect any loyalties or skills, but now I will give our students to this manager or to this school or to this teacher, and we are choosing. So I have a chance to exert more effort and more cost in order to prepare them or to help qualify them to have a role that I need. Isn't it? Yes, correct. So we are always used to the result of the technology and communication development. We have the phone, and we waste a lot of time, and maybe we spend at night with it. So I'd like the teacher to go at 6 a.m. to school. So I make them live for 6 months to start to wake up at 5 a.m. I want a teacher to take care of sport. So they didn't use to concern or to take care of sports before. So I put them in a general program. So the technician is a specialist. So it's related to Dr. Rida. It's not mine. I put a general framework that I will give my children too as well. If I am able to do so in all state institutions, why? I will. Why? Because we need that to the administrative authority. We need them to be more committed, more ready to give, more professional. So how can I do it? This is the idea. This is an idea we had. If you have more ideas, we can apply them. We took them for 6 months, and everything was done for them that can fulfill the efficiency of choice, and we are exerting effort with them to be able to be ready through vocational training put by Ministry of Education to receive a diploma. And with the teachers are chosen, and if I have an opportunity to do this with 30,000 teachers, I won't be hesitant, but I can't. To make them sit for 6 months, yes. To be able to make sure that they wake up at 6 a.m. To take care of your sport, your loyalty is for your students. And what you're saying will be put in young minds. Your culture, your practices will be anchored and absorbed by students from you. So I need to be reassured that the personality was forged, a personality that we give our children, our daughters, boys to them. So just to clarify this point. When I'm saying I've never had anything, because it is not made without an idea. It is based on an idea, and you will see the outcome of this idea. We'll evaluate our success in this building or not. So that's why I'm saying that 1,000 that will lead the schools will give them teachers, excellent teachers, not just excellent. They haven't joined the educational field before. They are new in order to have excellent ideas, not just successful. Because the educational field has successful people, but we want to better improve and upgrade through in the shed or in the light of resources in order to we have. And by the way, qualifying and training is a process, is a non-stop process to upgrade any occupation across the country. You always have to launch programs to train those who are in charge. I'd like to point this out because we accomplished it with the railway ministry. To have 6 months vocational training with Ministry of Finance as well for them to set up the program. But I reforged the personality, but I don't militarize them. No, I don't militarize them. It's not you, but those who always distort and mouth bad and put the poisons in hearts and minds of people and break the hope of tomorrow. But we are trying within our limited capabilities and circumstances. What I'm saying and reiterating, I've never sugar-coated things. I've never told you that I will do so and so. I just said there is work only. There is work only. We will keep working unless God blesses us. The challenge of awareness is the largest challenge in building human beings. But what is the most reassurance is that we have effort, solidarity to one goal, to have a better position for citizens across the world, which is the story of the Egyptian hero. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, ministers. Thank you so much.
عند طريق الإسماعيلية زراعي مرورا بمحافظي القليوبية ثم القاهرة ثم الجيزة وينتهي عند محور الضبعة بغرب التقاطع طريق القاهرة الإسكندرية الصحراوي بمسافة
8 المشروع هيتكلف تقريبا 360 مليار جنيه خلال سنتين. هيتعمل طبقا اقصى المعايير العلميه والتكنولوجيه والفنيه في كل شيء.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi launched the initiative Decent Life in collaboration with the Ministry of Social Solidarity in March 2019.
مبادرة حياة كريمة هي محاولة مننا إن احنا نعالج مسائل مزمنة في مناطق هي الأكثر فقرا على الإطلاق في بلدنا مصر ونغيرها تماما.
The initiative covers 32 million people. The first phase includes 377 villages in 11 different governorates. It provides pure drinking water lines, sealing roofless buildings and houses, and donating blankets and furniture to at least 3 million people. It helps construct 15 schools in the villages, expand job opportunities to establish small businesses. The second phase targets the villages where poverty rates lie between 50 to 75%. Villages with 50% poverty or less will be targeted in the third phase. The Ministry of Social Solidarity provides 80% of the initiative's cost, while the remaining 20% will come from NGOs. The Egyptian citizen today is on top of the state's priorities.
حط رجلك عالطريق الصح ده لكل واحد دول الدنيا دي زي الحكاية واحنا فيها سطور الفرصة جاتلك اكتب اسمك من حروف بالنور من حروف بالنور خطوة بتجيب علامك وبترسم ابتسامك فوق وش الخلق ياما خطوة خدها ما تستناش خطوة خطوة بتبان بسيطة بتغير خريطة دنيا الغيرك جديدة يعني فرصة وما تسيبهاش خطوة ولو تمشيها تدي حياة الواحد مستنيها وفارقة معاه واللي قصاد الدنيا انك وياه خطوة خطوة بتجيب علامك وبترسم ابتسامك فوق وش اللي ياما خطوة خدها ما تستناش خطوة خطوة بتبان بسيطة بتغير الخريطة دنيا غيرك جديدة يعني فرصة وما تسيبهاش خطوة خطوة بتجيب علامك وبترسم ابتسامك فوق وش اللي ياما خطوة خدها ما تستناش
I'm the first line in the history book. I'm the cradle of civilization, land of religions, the charm of the place, the source of the knowledge, the son of the arts. I'm the riddle, I'm the pyramid, I'm the land of generosity, I'm the Nile, I'm the proud, noble, authentic people. I'm the generous, from Sinai calling on the heavenly God. I'm the Christ and the journey of the Holy Family on its land. I'm Earth's finest soldiers, a testament of Prophet Muhammad in times of battle. Peace and prayers be upon all messengers of Allah. I'm the cemetery of the invaders, the land of peace, citadel of Islam, the friendly and compassionate beating heart of Arabism. I'm the glory, I'm the greatness, I'm the high dam, I'm the crossing, I'm the new canal built in a year. I bask in glory throughout time.
Exactly 2 p.m. here in Cairo, time for the top stories. President Fattah Sisi said it is necessary to come up with the scientific ideas to face challenges to the state. He was speaking during a meeting with members of the Higher Council of Universities at the Suez Canal University as part of celebrations marking Egyptian University's Excellence Day. During the meeting, Sisi discussed the quality of education in higher education and scientific research. He was briefed on the status of Egyptian universities with regards to international accreditation. During the meeting, Alexandria University had reviewed efforts to link scientific research with industry. The head of Cairo University also gave a briefing on efforts exerted to upgrade the position Egyptian universities in international rating institutions. Sisi was briefed by the head of Tanta University on efforts to encourage students' participation in Decent Life initiative. Addressing attendees, Sisi said it is important to announce introduction of new colleges, especially those with technological specialties of which the job market is in need. He said it is important to make sure that specialties of universities respond to the job market, especially digitalization, which he said is needed not only in Egypt but also worldwide. President Sisi said the state faced many challenges in the past years to achieve stability and was able to build different sectors coinciding with achieving stability and security. He was speaking during a celebration marking Egyptian University's Excellence Day on Tuesday at the Suez Canal University in Ismailia Governorate. Speaking at a discussion session, he said citizens should be aware of the amount of expenditure in educational infrastructure. He also attended a session dubbed The Story of a Nation with heads of university students' unions and a session on building the Egyptian character. During their discussions, Sisi was briefed on progress of education system at state, civil and foreign universities and efforts to develop technical and basic education in Egypt. Sisi said 25 million students need the allocation of at least 1 trillion Egyptian pounds. Sisi said that education culture in Egypt must be prepared to accept new development suggestions. He said there is no time for 5-year plans to implement any projects related to educational development. Armed Forces General Commander Defense Minister General Mohammed Zaki on Tuesday greeted President Fattah Sisi on Prophet Muhammad's birth, peace be upon him, anniversary for the Hijri year 1445. Over a telegram, the Defense Minister wished many happy returns of the occasion for the President, for Egypt and for Egyptians. General Zaki also extended greetings from many army personnel to the President. And for the second day in a row, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank annual meetings in Egypt's Red Sea resort continue. President Fattah Sisi on Monday had witnessed the kickstart of the AIIB's annual meetings. Addressing the opening session, President Sisi said that over the past 8 years, the state spent immense amounts of money to improve infrastructure status in a short timeline in support of the country's comprehensive development drive. The President called on the Asian Bank to provide more low-costing funding to help developing nations to overcome repercussions of successive crises hitting the world, on top of which is coronavirus pandemic and the Ukrainian war. Well, dear viewers, that's all for the top stories. Stay tuned for more is coming up on ITV International.
عشان أفريقيا تستاهل، لا يمكن يوم هنتساهل، وهنواجه وهنكمل وهنكافح بإيد ملايين، عشان أجيال كتير جاية هنخلص كلنا النية، مفيش فاسد يعيش بينا مادام مع بعض سوا قادرين.
Le même destin, les compagnons du même chemin, avec nos cœurs, avec nos mains, la corruption aura une fin. Dessiner le plus beau dessin de notre peuple africain, nos rêves ensemble n'est pas loin, c'est sûr qu'on gagnera enfin.
أفريقيا بتبدأ عصر جديد، محتاجة الإيد تفضل في الإيد، نبدأ من هنا نبدأ كلنا علشان الخير في بلادنا يزيد. هنكمل مع بعض الصورة وهنبني السكك المكسورة، نلحق وقتنا نوصل حلمنا من غير صعوبات من غير تعقيد.
We are the roots of humanity, we have a responsibility. Let's now be what we ought to be, beat corruption with integrity. Optimiser et oublier, ne regardez pas en arrière. Notre ambition n'a pas de frontières et cette terre de nous sera fière.
من اللحظة دي مش ممكن نقبل نتهاون في حقوق أولادنا، اشهد يا تاريخ على المستقبل اللي بنبنيه سوا لبلادنا.
نحن لدينا مصير مشترك.
مصر تسلمت الرئاسة الدورية للاتحاد الإفريقي لعام 2019 وتتطلع كعادتها دوما للتعبير عن شواغل الشعوب الإفريقية الشقيقة الرامية لتحقيق الاستقرار والتقدم ودفع عجلة التنمية قدما. إذا كنتم ترغبون في تغيير وجه القارة الأفريقية، فالاتحاد الإفريقي كقيادة تستطيع أن تعمل وتدرس بشكل مركزي لمشروع عملاق لبناء بنية أساسية على مستوى القارة. أنا أتصور أن الأمن والاستقرار استثمار. إذا لم تستقر هذه القارة والأمن فيها بمعدلاته عالية، هذا الأمر سينعكس بالسلب علينا كلنا.
So a very warm welcome to all our viewers and welcome to our special edition and our continued coverage here of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's visit to Ismailia, where the President said it is necessary to come up with scientific ideas to face challenges to the state. He was speaking during a meeting with the members of the Higher Council of Universities, the Suez Canal University, as part of the celebrations marking Egyptian University's Excellence Day. Now, during the meeting, Sisi discussed the quality of education in higher education and scientific research. He was briefed on the status of Egyptian universities with regards to international accreditation. During the meeting, Alexandria University head reviewed efforts to link scientific research with the industry and its needs. Also, the head of Cairo University gave a briefing on the efforts exerted to upgrade the position of Egyptian universities in international rating institutions. President Sisi was briefed by the head of Tanta University on efforts to encourage students' participation in the Decent Life presidential initiative. Also addressing the attendees, Sisi said it is important to announce the introduction of new colleges, especially those with technological specialties, of which the job market is in need. President added, it is important to make sure that specialties at universities respond to the job market, especially digitalization, which he said is needed not only in Egypt but also worldwide. In related news, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said the state has faced many challenges in the last years to achieve stability and was able to build different sectors coinciding with achieving stability and security in the country. He was speaking during a celebration marking Egyptian University's Excellence Day on Tuesday at the Suez Canal University in Ismailia Governorate. Speaking at a discussion session, he said citizens should be aware of the amount of expenditure in educational infrastructure. He also attended a session dubbed Story of a Nation with heads of university student unions and a session on building Egyptian characters. During the discussions, President Sisi was briefed on the progress of the educational system at state, civil and foreign universities, as well as efforts to develop technical and basic education in Egypt. Sisi said 25 million students need the allocation of at least 1 trillion Egyptian pounds. He added that the education culture in Egypt must be prepared to accept new development suggestions. He said there was no time for a 5-year plan to implement any projects related to educational development. We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for this afternoon, Dr. Nabil Aged, our education expert. Dr. Nabil, a very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us and for your time. And let me start, Doctor, by how do you see today's celebration? How would you describe the status of Egyptian universities in Egypt, in international rating institutions as well, Doctor?
First of all, let me address our words of thanks for the political leadership, care, and continuous encouragement to the top-class students who have been given a sort of reward. And this is actually, from my own point of view, is a very gigantic step to push them forward to upgrade and enhance their achievements, which is always continuous with the hard work they usually do. Of course, under the supervision of their supervisors, professors, who try nowadays to create what we would like to say as the creative thinkers. Gone are the days when everything was bookish. But now, the new ideas of this promising new generation will really enhance the quality of education.
Absolutely.
We need a generation of thinkers who have creative ideas and who can benefit not only their country, but can benefit the humanity in general. The due care also of the mass media, as you are doing right now, is an important element. And apart of the amount of expenditure spent on the educational progress, I think it's worth in the long run to have this promising generation. And we aim at building the character of the learners, the students. And I'm so pleased of the new trend having the applied technological education, which is now overwhelming in the trend of education.
Absolutely. Indeed. Now, Doctor, of course, today we saw President Sisi in a meeting with members of the Higher Council of Universities at the Suez Canal University as part of the celebrations marking Egyptian University's Excellence Day. And in his address, the President said it was necessary, to come up with scientific ideas to face some of the challenges facing the state. How do you see these challenges and the needs for scientific solutions in Egypt?
Well, it's a very nice word that is mentioned right now about the challenges. Everything in life nowadays needs a challenge based on scientific approach, scientific method, and the system of research now has become easier because something like Google, something like the net, I'm dead sure that have already facilitated lots of processes going on. So it is just the step to start with, and then the 1,000-mile trip, as I think a Chinese proverb says, starts with one step. So we have already been on the first step to continue, and we wish very good luck for all those who are involved in the matter of education.
Absolutely right. Yes, Dr. Nabil. Yes, sorry, Dr. Nabil, our education expert, I have to wrap it up here, and thank you very much. We do go back now to a live transmission. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned as we continue our coverage on ALTV International.
السيدة الدكتورة نيفين الكيلاني وزيرة الثقافة. بالتأكيد قطاع الثقافة شهد خلال ال9 سنوات الماضية طفرة كبيرة في البنية التحتية، إعادة إحياء، تطوير في مختلف أنحاء الجمهورية، لأن قطاع الثقافة هو بمثابة كلمة السر ومفتاح النجاح الحقيقي في الحفاظ على الهوية الوطنية، هويتنا كمصريين اللي بنلاقيها موجودة في أعز وأكثر المواقف اللي بتكون مؤثرة في تاريخ الوطن، بنلاقي فيه تكاتف، وهو ده الهوية المصرية، وهو ده الوازع اللي جوانا اللي بيخلينا نتحرك حفاظا على هذه الهوية. إيه اللي حصل خلال ال9 سنوات؟ هو ده اللي هنتعرف عليه من خلال هذا العرض.
الثقافة هي المكون الأساسي لهوية الشعوب وقوتها الناعمة، وكانت الدولة المصرية عبر آلاف السنين ملهمة للعديد من الحضارات حول العالم. خلال أعوام مضت قبل 2014 عانى قطاع الثقافة والفن من توقف عجلة التطوير ودعم اكتشاف المواهب وتهالك البنية التحتية للعديد من قصور الثقافة والمسارح القومية وغيرها من التحديات التي أوجبت أن يكون قطاع الثقافة على رأس أولويات الدولة المصرية خلال ال10 سنين اللي فاتت. وبدأت الخطة بتطوير وإنشاء قصور وبيوت الثقافة في مختلف محافظات الجمهورية.
الفترة اللي فاتت في مجال الثقافة شفنا تطور كبير بيحصل، يعني هو الدولة مركزة دايما انه الشباب اللي طالع جديد يطلع واعي.
وجاء على رأس هذه المشروعات المشروع القومي لإنشاء مدينة الفنون والثقافة بالعاصمة الإدارية الجديدة بمساحة 127 فدان لتصبح منارة للإبداع الفني والثقافي، والتي تحتوي على دار أوبرا عالمية وعدد من المسارح المختلفة، بالإضافة لمكتبة ضخمة ومتحف للفن المصري. بالإضافة إلى ذلك تم إنشاء مركز مصر الثقافي الإسلامي في العاصمة الإدارية الجديدة ليكون منبرا جديدا للثقافة الإسلامية. كان دعم وتطوير الفن والدراما المصرية، واللي تعتبر أهم عناصر القوى الناعمة المصرية، هو محور أساسي لتحرك الدولة خلال السنوات الماضية، حيث تم إنتاج أكثر من 300 عمل درامي قام بتنفيذهم أكثر من 32 شركة إنتاج مصرية بإجمالي استثمارات تخطت 20 مليار جنيه. بالإضافة لذلك تم إطلاق منصة واتشت الرقمية، واللي تمكنت في خلال سنوات قليلة كسب حصة سوقية كبيرة في مصر والدول العربية، وإنتاج العديد من الأعمال التي تخاطب الشباب وتجدد أفكارهم، وعادت مصر قبلة للمهرجانات الفنية المتنوعة لتكون نافذة العالم على فنون مصر والعالم العربي. وتم ذلك بتنفيذ ودعم أكثر من 20 مهرجان محلي ودولي بمحافظات مصر المختلفة، زي مهرجان العالمين الجديدة ومهرجان القلعة الدولي للموسيقى والغناء، واللي مكن الدولة المصرية من اكتشاف مواهب فنية وثقافية. واهتمت الدولة المصرية بتطوير معارض الكتاب وتنظيم وإطلاق مسابقات فنية وثقافية، مع تخصيص مسابقات للقادرون باختلاف من ذوي الهمم. واهتمت الدولة بإقامة الكثير من تلك الفعاليات في قرى حياة كريمة.
الثقافة دلوقتي بقت حاجة أحسن، بقت تتطور، بقى في حق وحقوق للمسرح أكتر عن الأول. دلوقتي بقينا الشباب بيحب يقرأ ويستكشف العالم.
ومن أهم مؤشرات تطور قطاع الثقافة والفنون 8.2 مليار جنيه إجمالي تكلفة المشروعات الثقافية. 2357 نشاط ثقافي تم تنفيذهم. 1368 برنامج تدريبي تم تنفيذه للعاملين بوزارة الثقافة خلال 9 سنين. 148 إجمالي عدد دور المسارح العامة لغاية 2022 بزيادة 88 دور مسرح مقارنة ب 2014. 85 موقع ثقافي تم افتتاحه خلال 9 سنين.
دكتورة نيفين، زي ما تابعنا كده في الفيديو اللي تم عرضه.
Dr. Naveen, as we saw in the video, that houses of culture have changed significantly since 2015. Could you tell us a bit about some of the activities that take part, and do they live up to these days? Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Mr. President, before I start, I want to speak about the state of culture in Egypt. Before 2015, we had a few challenges focused in 3 areas. The first of which was all cultural activities were basically in the capital city and did not reach other governorates in the country. Also, second challenge was poor infrastructure in some cultural palaces, which resulted in poor financing. After 2011-2014, the Egyptian constitution accredited the need for the Egyptian citizen to receive cultural services regardless of financial ability or geolocation. Hence, we have now had over 162 projects worth over 3.6 million, and now we have 46 projects worth 4.6 million. 4.6 billion. We've also developed several cultural institutes, 184 theaters, 85 new cultural centers opened in the last 9 years, 357 cultural homes and palaces, an increase of 30 buildings since 2014. With regards to development, we have developed 35 new libraries, 9 schools, cultural arts, 2,375 cultural activities have been carried out in these developed areas. Here are some pictures of before and after development in Tanta, Ena, Samer Theater in Giza, which was opened 2 months ago. Also, the Great Library in Bab al-Khal, which was destroyed before 2014 and now has been restructured and developed with 45 million Egyptian pounds. Also Wadi Natrun Cultural Palace. Also, we are now using ecologically sound building structures to suit the area. Book festivals, we have had 55 annual book festivals. Also 2023, we had over 3.5 million visitors, which is unprecedented to book fairs as a result of the development to book fairs. Another development project called Citizen Cinema. The main aim of this project was to provide cinemas, movie showings to rural areas and other governorates that do not have cinemas. So
ووصل إلى 21 دار سينما في 19 محافظة. مشروع مسرح المواجهة والتجوال قدم عروض 910 ليلة عرض استفاد منها 3 مليون مواطن خلال الفترة من أغسطس 21 إلى 23. وفكرة المسرح ده بتقوم على فرق مسرحية بسيطة بتتجول في القرى والمراكز اللي ما فيهاش مسارح بتبني مسرح
simple theaters and simple centers presenting service, cultural service in programs and plays, raising awareness for children, for viewers, and for current challenges as increased population. Mobile theater with a cost of 26 million pounds was launched by the partnership of a military ministry. And this is some of the pictures for the mobile theater activities. We had 12 gathering for children and 12 gathering for women. It is based on integrating border children with other children of governorates to raise awareness and achieving integration. And they were hosted in different governorates to know the national projects made in other fields. This initiative for Egyptian industries is to improve craft works under the presidential auspices. It started in 2019. We had 3 training courses with a 123 youth graduates. After graduation, they they established their small projects helped by Social Solidarity Ministry in joining historic crafts work fairs. the concern of improving special needs skills. It was one of the importance according to 2014 Constitution. We had many activities with 1,600 events spread in innovation centers as Opera Talent Center, and the first team was formed from special needs. It was formed, it's called SUN team. The participation with the Haya Karima initiative was among developing culture. We had 149 cultural events benefiting 1.5 million from August until September, and Book Fair Club was made by in partnership with the Haya Karima initiative to sell books with simple cost. Talent Developing Centers is a new institution among cultural castles specialized in drama and music and craft work. The state prizes regularly provided by Cultural Ministry. They added a prize for young innovative under the auspices of First Lady, President's wife. From 6 to 12 from 6 to 12 years, they have 3 courses. For the for the second course, they added a prize for special needs, and on the third year, the board prize managing cooperated with the immigration ministries to link the third generation with homeland by participating in the events. While you are talking, Ms. Minister, while talking about figures, tell me the feelings of youth by having these prizes. The state prizes are classified by age, and the encouraging prize has to be applied for innovatives less than 40, Naguib Mahfouz Prize for literature. Excellence Prize has to be nominated by authority as governments, institutions, academy, or vocational academies. It has to be in literature, arts, and craft work. The young innovative children is the first prize for children in state from 6 to 18 years, distributed from 6 to 12 and from 12 to 18 in literature, innovation, and arts and scientific research, to take care of, to sponsor kids, and those the winners join Opera Center, and storytellers, we publish their books. In Book Fair 2023, we have the first book for a 12-year-old daughter. We had a sister girl, and we had a signature ceremony for her. She was explaining and describing her feelings among other children in the field of translation and publication. In the field of discovering talent, start with your dream with the cinema and theater. One of the new projects were made within a cultural ministry in partnership with the ministry's higher education. We had 8 governorates by cooperating with the Cultural Castle Authority and Organization of Discovering Talents. It based on providing trainings for those interested in drama and theater, and having competition to choose the top achievers. and they apply for competitions in cultural ministry. In the regard of in the field of translation and publication, we had many books translated and published. In order to encourage translation, there is competition. So encourage people to translate books from English to Arabic with different from Arabic to different languages and vice versa. In the field of protection of antiquities, cultural ministry provided through the center, through the Civilized Coordination Center projects that produced that give prizes or that gives honors to historical people as Taha Hussein and journalist Yasser Sahafi. City's Memory had a project, lived here, 956 panel on buildings. And they continue doing this across Egypt. Street story, they presented a number of panels in Alexandria and Al-Aqsa. They narrate briefly information about names of streets as a type of culture. Hakayat Shara or street story, we always see the names of streets, but we don't know the stories behind them. So it is a project submitted by Civilized Coordination Center. These two projects narrate the historic buildings, and they documented about 800 panels in buildings in Cairo and Giza, downtown in Cairo, in reconstruction for book center. In order to reconstruct the important historical documents. Lastly, we completed last week an edition of rare Hijazi Holy Quran that is backdated to the first immigration center. The increase of participants, the participants number increased in festivals as Cinema Festival, Arab Music, and the International Cairo Casa Festival, and Al-Amein Festival as well. And at the end of the festival ended with honoring participants in drama series this year in Drama Festival, second edition. Of course, the drama program content is complementary between media and culture because it's one of the arms in raising awareness and delivering information to society, and always there is a communication between the protocol were signed between the Cultural Ministry and the United to stream celebrations and national forums to encourage people to go there. In technological field, we had to cope with that across world. We had a signed protocol with the Communication Ministry. We completed the first phase in digitalizing cultural and drama content, started in opera, and the General Authority for Book and Arts Academy in visualized and audiobooks, magazines, and scientific books in the arts magazine academy, and we are about to start the second phase, hopefully. City of Culture and Art in capital in the new administrative capital. It's one of the first projects, and we hope that it could deliver arts and culture and will reach culture and arts in Egypt to a global level by under the auspices of international coordination letter company. And it includes many buildings, include Beit al-Oud, that is manufacturing a type of guitar for those in interest, and hosting artists across Egypt to exchange experience. Islamic Egyptian Cultural Center. It has a great role in religious culture because it spreads medium Islamic in moderate Islamic approaches in Egypt, and it has most of the and it includes most of the important reciters. Every one of them will speak about their history and a record of the Holy Quran by their voice. In the upcoming future, hopefully, we hope under establishing for houses and castle and castles for cultural, palaces for cultural, and reforming 5 museums, in reforming 10 theaters, developing the higher institution for children, and completing building the students' hospital at Arts Academy. This is a picture of institutions that were made or established and were about to be prepared to inaugurating during the upcoming 3 or 4 months. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Naveen. And actually, culture sector has several roles, from raising awareness, cultural, maintaining the rich history we have. So in order to be more fair, it's not talents are not only in culture, but it's also in youth and sports, and we may have seen the best talents that Egypt has through the national project Capitano, under the directives of President Sisi, and it was implemented with the partnership of Youth and Sport Ministry and the Holding United Company. It wouldn't be established unless by having strong infrastructure for youth. What happened in the last 9 years, we will follow through the upcoming video. There is no suspect that sport in Egypt suffered from poor capabilities, less clubs and youth centers, and no capabilities of youth to fulfill their ambitions. But during the last 9 years, we're trusted youth to be able to provide, and this by improving infrastructure, supporting athletes to reach break international records. I am Alexandra. I'm the first player qualified to Olympics in martial arts. I'm one of the best 5 in bow throwing, and I played the 3 Olympics rings as a feeling to wave Egypt's flag in a place that did not have it before. It is a very a feeling of pride. Now Egypt adopts sports cities as the new sports city in the new administrative capital. And International Egyptian City for Olympics. And the Port-Said International Sport City with building in Asmarat City with the 239 pounds Guinea, pounds they're establishing and developing projects with total 5,612 projects since 2014 to 2023. Also, the stadium's number is the 3T Stadium, and the youth center is 4,510. In front of a number of unqualified youth center, we also hosted many competitions as African and regional and global competitions, and the numbers reiterate the success of the experiment. 2,800 medals Egypt obtained from 2018 to 2022. 16.8 million number of beneficiaries from programs in 2021-2022. 1,125 number of cups for 2029. 5,748 activities had more than 127.7 project opportunities for youth. And by implementing the ambition of building human being, in order to fulfill enabling, we had to have a step before, which is training and qualifying. In a short period, a program and supported trains were launched as the presidential training to qualify leadership, with a great aim with having a youth base able to be managers, leaders in the country. And according to youth, the political willingness was spread to youth in COP27 was in 4 edition, and the African Arab Forum was made as well. All the youth events able to open our kids for African, Arab and international experiences, and had a connection between them and political leaders, and they were translated on ground. We have 123 parliament in Congress and House of Representatives. One of the youth, the situation is way better. There are ministers at young age and leaders. The faces we see as leaders, they are less in age. We have examples that in Egypt that youth are able to hold positions. My trust in youth cannot be underestimated, and they will do great things other than their fathers and sisters. Dr. Ashraf, and a figure was drew my attention, which is 2,800 medal Egypt obtained from 2018 to 2022, which reiterates the amount of work to qualify and train these youth to be successful in these competitions. Is a great. and time that youth complains about not having sponsors. And what are you doing in this? What's your philosophy and strategy in qualifying youth? In the name of God, the most merciful, the most compassionate, all the appreciation. In 2018, Mr. President launched the national initiative for youth building. The talking is mental, physical, and health in order to build a balanced character from young age, started from family, church, mosque, youth center, and that's why we started with a group of interactive circles. The first circle we are talking about is building youth and an infrastructure. Drama always captures reality, and the pictures is from with a media and drama reality. That was the traditional view we had for a youth center before 2014, as also drama is not mere comedy. In 2015, President Sisi said that no one will request an apartment without having really an apartment, and we have more than what is requested. And even drama captured other models in employee offices. People don't have chairs. We have another dream to move to new administrative capital, and we're talking about another form of drama. It is not absurd. It's what we saw after 2014. Before 2014 was true, and what it is one of the most important institutions, which is the youth center, is treating all the segments of community, and we said that we needed to change it to a better one. These are the current youth centers. The one here is not in Muhandisin, but they are real and with based on a new concept, because a youth center is entertaining, cultural, and a family place. We had gatherings, compounds as well, with clubs and different forms. Tamia Youth Center in Fayoum is not a resort in any resort country. This is St. Catherine Youth Center for our family and citizens. And the Qahliya Youth Center, this is a swimming pool in a village, in a very ordinary village. This expresses the average we were able to build the architecture of youth centers. This is a model of pitches in youth centers. Personally, as karate, and as me, I was playing in a youth center in a karate. I didn't find a place to change my clothes. Actually, this is the form now we have in youth centers in order to reach our goal. We had an infrastructure for youth centers of 22 million pounds, 4,000 and something developing youth centers, building sports cities. We have 6 stadiums, helped us in the African Cup, and other clubs for special needs. We also changed the architecture of unapproached clubs. It was civil, but now it became innovative centers, and we are in partnership with the Communication Ministry. One of the newest initiatives in the centers is developing and building medical centers, 1 and 2 Al Jazeera or Peninsula, the branches of the clubs, because we consider all segments in the centers, and then CC clubs or governorates clubs. And we inaugurated one of the branches of club because we have found a segment are not able to pay the fees of clubs, and we're not going downgrade. We had a new series of club that were able to host great segments of number of segments, and also we have an election clubs that was developed, has all the services with no lack of anything inside or outside Egypt. Let's stop on this number. Egypt before 2014, 2011, the situation was for 40 years, 42 swimming pool at state cost were built, and we started from a new concept by private sector entrance is 191 swimming pool was built, changed the form and the concept of village and the city, and it was to manage by private sector. And by reviewing this on a private sector, we'd like to accelerate the budget we have. Maybe it won't be enough for this acceleration. You said that we need to review with the control authority to govern this initiative. We developed with very great figures, and after a period of review, he directed us to review the outcome with the Ministry of Planning, and we have a great success of this concept. Haya Karima helped us to jump greatly to the centers, and the first phase only 1,093 youth center, 266 youth centers were added for the first phase. Second phase, we expect 900 youth centers we included in operating. I'd like to stop here. The red line since 2014, and we are speaking to simple people here. We are offering this, and that's why we take the sixth chart, or that we will start implementing by. So that's why we started the green line after reviewing or after showcasing, and we'll find that it goes up based on self resources and operating entrepreneurship private sector, and it reached not to that we have 9 billion pounds from private sector partnership, in addition to increasing income to these institutions that ease the burden on state in order to avoid taking more from the state's budget. Since 2020 COVID started and the performance were decreased, but we continue doing this as the state budget is not the primary thing. I'm so happy with this that the far villages wants to have BOD or the right of benefit. We have 300.7 million is the amount of investments. 1.6 billion is the number we paid investment in youth, young people, not just investing in buildings and infrastructure, but also in human beings and comprehensive development. We intensified 3 billion of investments in projects, 3 billion out of 9 billion in youth centers, and 6 billion pounds for we gave the green light for clubs to interact. We have about 1 1 to 100 club we are supporting according to observing standards that reduced greatly the support of these institutions and develop sports, about 3.9 for stadiums, about another, and we developed according to the law the sports companies and governor it in a good way as a 3.3, and it gains us or earned us about $40 billion billion pounds that we spend it again in developing the sector. The other sector is the economy for health and operating, which is health club sector with 7 billion pounds investment. So we created a culture for sports. Also, we have turnover, direct and indirect turnovers of sports events that reached about $1 billion. This is the form of culture we have now. This makes us also improve national strategy for youth and for sports, and our cooperation with Arab Academy and one of the UN institutions. We had 2 years with youth to have having a survey to improve these two strategies. The ministry built its strategies on integration. To have a integrated approach, we need to work with the Ministry of Education and Higher Education Ministry, this integration, because we are working in parallel to interact with all segments of communities comprehensively, to open new horizons for a great cooperation. Mr. President, we were able in this period to, honestly, we asked a question why we had these events before 2014. Why we will, youth were taken in a different way. So we needed to intensify activities and understand their way of thinking. So we reached about 5,748 projects in 5 years, since 40 years, programs of loyalty leadership related to church, Al-Azhar al-Sharif, and all society institutions. I worked with a great program with Nasser Academy in all fields, and we are 137.7 is the amount of youth participation. We are 105 because the amount of participation, we had a replicate rate, and we had we reached an accurate number, which is 137. So the average of year is 15 million youth participation. The other side is another strategy in sport, which is development sports. We worked in streets in the neighborhood regularly. We developed parks, and we reached all ages. We had initiatives to create a method. Gradually, we distributed 20,000 bicycles. We support by care program or Ra'aya program. And in order to have a transparency, we do it through a website, and we have a signature with the military production together. We have another initiative to extract your bike is your income. We give them we give you some youth program with capital 1,000 pounds to create a project to deliver bicycles to people. Also, we wanted to create the sport condition. One of the big initiatives is stimulation. Egyptian Olympics children, less than 160,000 children were joined this program. And also, in addition to border Olympics, with our great concern to border governorates, with the initiative on 1000 Dream to enhance the girls' personalities, and with football initiative, we have the greatest employee platforms. After maybe the figures were great, but we are integrating with the civil society and higher education. But with Microsoft, we were able, and with the communication emergency, we were able to have employer platform called Masra Online. 33,300 job opportunities were obtained in across Egypt. Sports events, we had official agenda and non-official agenda. Through official agenda, we were able to have a great trust, a great burden with all institutions. We have some of the competitions globally. We built and developed Cairo Stadium, and we inaugurated another competition, and we operated youth in private events, and we attended 600 with 2,000 attendees in sport events through non-official agenda, and we invited Ironman and Washerman, big brands were existed in our events, marathon and race, also entrepreneurship programs were developed. We developed the concept of products in a club of girl and women. We had fairs to be able to market themselves, and constant fair in Al Jazeera Youth Center, and on Thursday we will open the biggest fair in youth centers and on social, under the auspices of the ministry. And we are giving things for presenters. We have Egyptian designers with a great icon with design, and it will have the prize. And also we develop youth travel from south to north and vice versa. The aim is loyalty and national projects, and we reached other borders. We also developed what started in 2015, one of them chess competitions in universities that occupied the university for 6 months. 24 activities were judged by different institutions, and that was enough. We'll have innovative youth centers, and we did so, and it has great leaps. 24, the singer for Islamic or storytellers, Islamic songs or storytellers, we provided everything that they need or think of, and Youth Parliament were developed. We have most professional cadres were trained, about 60,000 youth, and that was enough. We moved to a new chamber, and the Senate's chamber, and they are here existed in the society in a very honored form. All the relations we had with the diplomatic relations with the foreign affairs ministry, and it's their existence, their cooperation with different ministries. We coordinated with the National Academy for training programs. Mr. President, I'd like to say that our work from 2014, we were able to achieve and open the Ministry for All Youth, and it became a House of Youth. We formed one 40 youth institution, and it has a story behind it, managed by youth in 27 governorates. The sector of this institution. Okay, please allow me. We only have 1 minute. 7 million for this sector only, other than talents and sports talents as well. There is no discrimination in football as well, and we reached to the national program for young, and just 2028 had another impact in this, and all actually players in youth centers were traveled abroad. So in 2028, youth centers will have a different impact. With the new military medical center, we reached to Egyptian genome, and we are working on analyzing the chromosomes or the genetic part of Egyptians. The martial arts were very important. Strong arts we are very good in, which is lifting weights. We are about 2,800, did not happen before but this period we achieved it. And also the nationalization phenomena is an old one, and we have steps to face it. With the military academy, all youth go out there to witnessing the challenges with a Egyptian competition within a sport athlete, and what does this mean? So we did not have this record since 2012. We had 7 medals in Paralympics for special needs, and maybe we have from 700 to 800 mission or delegations abroad. We also Tokyo program only had from 2019, 2021, 2022, and 3 under the auspices of the ministry and the president. After Tokyo, we had Paris with analyzing with other institutions, providing a great number of costs to qualify athletes. There is lots of things we can say in sports and new state, but thank you so much, and all my appreciation. Thank you. Actually, youth and sport sector was able to exploit people's energy and explore their talents. Actually, all reader of history can see that any state succeeds on depending on their youth, that this is the beginning of the road and the story, the new republic story to start, that decided to depend on their youth to be at the beginning of a chapter. And thank you, Mr. President. Do you have a comment? Yes, for sure. Thank you, Dr. Ashraf and Dr. Naveen, for your presentation. I'd like to tell you something that you need to exert more effort in. That the efforts you have is not marketed and presented well, in my opinion, for people, not for them to feel or to benefit, but because this is an effort, reiterating that all state sectors are in concern and in support to fulfill the goals of the sector. I wish that you told me, Dr. Ashraf, you are talking now, as you talked in many elements and the expenditures, but if a youth may be said that they immigrated from Egypt. So if I now, as a minister of youth or as a government, if I did not speak clearly and frankly and directly to all, this will reduce a lot the efforts you are doing. You talked about the amount of effort were made and Dr. Naveen did so as well. But for example, when in the beginning we said, we used to say that the ideas of managing youth centers and the clubs, we were not able to cope with it, and we needed another financial method. We were talking about more than 4,800 youth center needs to be developed and reformed and to upgrade it. So we said that these youth centers, if did not be covered, it will redegrade again, because we won't be able to provide a great amount of money or cost every now and then for upgrading the sector. So I would like you to tell our listeners, our viewers, how can we sponsor or take care of our heroes? I know that you know, but I'd like people to know, because people know listen or see the negative side only because we did not support them, or we are not concerned about them. But no. But I'm not just showing off, because I wish that our girls and boys become the best in everything. But I'm saying this because this issue or this point is not in your favor and the light of the efforts we're making. I don't know if this is appropriate or not. I'm not going to mention figures, but all the prizes were provided to heroes. This is a number does not show our appreciation. They deserve way more than this, but this is not a humble, but it's not a humble number as well. But I'd like to say, because it happened more than once, and maybe we have a statement from your ministry or a comment, but I think in this session now, and all Egyptians are listening, it's very important to know that we are caring about our girls and boys, and we're keen on them. So if someone did not feel the appreciation, or the amount of appreciation was not enough, or they did not like it, so we can say, okay, go ahead. Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank you, but this is not an exaggeration. This happens that people that you are viewed in something, but not everybody knows. You know that you say that you want you to be the best. And maybe you asked me, we have company Olympics, 35,000, and maybe we're playing in companies and clubs. Companies is for companies, and we are trying to have a paid competitions to have half an hour morning to take care of sports. But the other reality, from Tokyo, we had a program, set up a program to sponsor for our children. It's not about the figure, big figure. It's from 1 billion only, but we had more. It's not about 35 million only. We had more, other than the national program for the children and youth. And we developed centers for everyone, even for those special needs. And there's no hole in Egypt is not less than 3 or 5 stars. We, the United International Unities come and play here in Egypt, so they know. And our soft skills has returned because they come and show people. I want to say something, and we have a short period before the start of the global competition, handball condition. So they don't believe that they didn't believe that we have been doing, and what we inaugurated this thing. The international institutions did not believe it. So when we worked scientifically on this And as you said, it's a state of science and work and hope and dream. We had a think tabs hubs, and we started to implement scientific and did not leave anything. Youth or athlete, Egyptian athlete has a personal trainer for heroes, for championships, has a nutritionist, has his personal psychologist, and as well with the university we signed 0% fees for most of our weight lifters, athletes have graduated from private sectors, no money. Even in basketball, we had 2 Americans naturalized and reversely. And internal ministry law helped us with this, that they came Egypt. Muhammad Mustafa, boxer, he is here, and his children in America. And a 13-year-old athlete said that she wanted to live and play here, so we have a positive side as well. Also, we have Center of Excellence or High Performance. We reached that the highly sophisticated centers is available across Egypt, and this percentage that wants to leave is very low. And we also have youth responding to this. The small point we have, that we have videos that we follow and make things show spread negatively, and we respond. I'm a personal athlete. There is no games are not are unknown as before. All the athletes or the heroes are known and we're honored. And maybe briefly I tell you, journalists, we'll have to Sports Day Egypt. We will gather all unprecedented figures we have, and your children, Mr. President, to attend with your with you addressing us, and you agree on this. And volleyball, handball, no age is not qualified for World Cup. And this is not something hidden. Every hero, every day we hear a hero obtaining a medal, and this is requires a lot of effort from me. We support managerially them. And Paris program has another money. We paid the 5th phase, which is 600 million only, and we are starting the 2nd phase, and also the cost of travel. Even the for qualifying, the athletes need to travel. No delegation did not require, and travel be on time and even before time. Every players in the camps. So the amount of support and work for athletes is there, exists, and also the player takes an income from 800 to 1,000 for 6 years until they become a champion at world level. We had 2 weightlifters global, and this is a great thing. So we had the methodology we have and apply it in neighboring countries, and we know who is competing us and where they're going in neighboring countries. So this phenomenon is there. It was way more than this, and we are dealing with it very logically, and we have investigations, and we know the reasons we consider it, but qualifying or scientific caring, schools and universities, sports incentives. It is available. All of this is available. If a player has an exam, it is postponed. We have existing players lives in the U.S. And they come in and they come on competitions. They don't say that they will live there and they will take the citizenship. Ashraf, I'm not saying this to defend. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this for you to tell me the amount of expenditures for different levels. So here is having with local competition or international or continental competition. I need the cost of what they need before, during, and after. It's not for a certain person. You said 3 billion or 600 million, and this is very good. The support we get from the companies and from us is a lot. But I'm talking about the Ministry of Youth. I'm talking about you personally. And by the way, Ashraf, and if you need the support in this regard, we have no problem. We don't have a problem. Why? Why I'm saying this? Because it's not good for us to be said that someone left, immigrated because we're not able, or that we skipped them. So maybe if he wants something more from us, what can we do? Are we going to leave them? No. So you are saying what people are doing everywhere. So if you're saying, if the numbers, if you have the figures, not for me, I'm stating the figures and everything for the listeners and the viewers to know that the state is not going haphazardly. There is figures, system, budget is put to treat and to spend on it. And I'm also saying this, we spend out of Egypt's pocket. But we have to tell people that this player or this hero spends or costs is upon us, directly and indirectly. So the maximum medal they take is about 200 million, and they took infinite or income for good. So we have word competitions, we have a system. So the player, when they gain about 500,000 pounds, and we are a great population in numbers. So this is a panel that a player finishes and takes their prizes. So the first player is a result of the rewards is a great number at the end, and we provide for players. And this is an average for personal, for individual games is good, but group games is different. So do you need support or not? I want support. I won't say no. So I will tell you something. Think and study the levels to increase the reward, to double the reward of some levels. Yes, please, Mr. President. But tell me the number at the end. Dr. Mustafa is sitting here with a great expense. So we're not leaving our children at all. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President of Egypt, and thank you, Dr. Ashraf Sabhi, Minister of Youth and Sport, and Dr. Naveen Al-Kilani, Minister of Culture. Thank you, Mr. President.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi launched the initiative Decent Life in collaboration with the Ministry of Social Solidarity in March 2019.
مبادرة حياة كريمة هي محاولة مننا إن احنا نعالج مسائل مزمنة في مناطق هي الأكثر فقرا على الإطلاق في بلدنا مصر ونغيرها تماما.
The initiative covers 32 million people. The first phase includes 377 villages in 11 different governorates. It provides pure drinking water lines, sealing roofless buildings and houses, and donating blankets and furniture to at least 3 million people. It helps construct 15 schools in the villages, expand job opportunities to establish small businesses. The second phase targets the villages where poverty rates lie between 50 to 75%.